Oh, geez, Louise. Hey, welcome back to the Phillies Final, everybody. Your boy Matty B here on the call. It's a Rap Sports. Phillies 2-0 winners over the Atlanta Braves tonight at the bank. Pitching wins championships. And tonight, Ranger Suarez and Spencer Strider dueled it out in front of the Philadelphia Philly faithful at Citizen Bank Park. Johnny Hockey's dad threw out the first pitch along with that fraud, Howie Roseman. So I guess Howie does win because Phillies win it. Came back and had a good game. I mean, offensively, sometimes you got to get these games that you got to get these games. Phillies really didn't do much offensively against Strider. Braves did absolutely nothing against Ranger Suarez or the Phillies bullpen as they combined to pretty much shut down the Braves tonight. 2-0 your final from the bank. The Phillies, both Phillies and Braves tonight finished with 5 hits, but it was the story of the pitching. Ranger Suarez now 4-0 as he makes a third consecutive strong start. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. The walks are a little alarming, and so is the 103 pitches through 6 innings. This elevated pitch count has been something that Suarez has been sort of stuck in since, well, I guess the second half of last year, as he seems to kind of labor a little bit. But it was effective as he really was not threatened at all. Strider gets the loss, 4.5, 1 hit, a run. It was an earned run. It was the Max Kepler hit there, 4 walks and 7 strikeouts. Kerkering, Strom, and Romano come in and close the door on the Braves. Didn't allow any hits. The Phillies bullpen did not allow any hits with the exception of Kerkering. So 1 hit the Philly bullpen gave up through 3 innings. So pretty impressive win if you're into those types of games, those pitching battles. I'm not necessarily into those types of games, but it's a good win. You got to take them while you can. Phillies with the win tonight. Get back in the W column after having that 9-game winning streak snapped. And I'm Matty B, by the way, for those of you that don't know who I am, and you are watching the Fightin's Final, the quintessential in Eagle Phillies post-game entertainment. Jesus Christ, man. Joe Hale checking in. Yeah, great Phillies victory indeed, Joe. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Mike Laros says, great win. Ricky Deal's watching, and he's always watching. And Joe Hale, so hopefully Harper is okay. We're going to get to that. I guess a negative comes in the form of Bryce Harper leaving the game in the first inning after getting hit in the elbow. 2 questions I want to know. One, and this is the old school baseball Matty B. Why wasn't anybody thrown at immediately after that? Why not in the top of the second inning? Did Ranger not rear back and just kind of go head hunting at Acuna or one of the other players for the Braves? I get it. I'm not necessarily into that kind of baseball, but sometimes you gotta stick up for a teammate that's going to leave the game because of an injury. Now Harper, the X-rays are negative. No determination or no timeline, I guess, on his return. Then Bryson Stott comes up a little gimpy there at the end of the game. I smell Otto Kemp. And maybe Buddy Kennedy arriving here very soon, as maybe it's time to, just for precautionary reasons, sit down Harper for 10 days. You know what I mean? Move Bohm over the first, send up Otto Kemp, give him an opportunity to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And then if, Stott's a little gimpy, then Buddy Kennedy will get the call up. So maybe we're seeing maybe there's some positives that could come out of this. Now, I don't expect Harper to miss a significant time, but perhaps this is an opportunity to kind of manufacture some playing time for Otto Kemp at the major league level. And so you can kind of see what you got. But yeah, that was my 2-part question here. One, why wasn't there a retaliation attempt at the Braves in the second inning? And 2, is this the gateway to Otto Kemp in the best case type scenario? And of course, Harper not being hurt long term is the best case type scenario. Ranger 4-0. Yes, he is, Chris. 3 very solid starts since his return. I think tomorrow they throw at Acuna. I want to be done tonight, man. Come on. It loses a little luster as you wait the days out. Throw them at him tonight. Throw at somebody. I don't know, man. Again, I get it. It's a different generation these days. These kids don't know it. It's a different thing. If you want leadership, that's leadership right there, if you ask me. Phillies win 2-0. They are now 35-19 through 54 games. 54 games of the season already completed. 35-19 as they embark on a 6-game homestand. 3 with the Braves, 3 with the Brewers. And let's get into this game a little bit. Let's talk some box score action. Phillies or Braves, no runs on 5 hits. Phillies, 2 runs on 5 hits. They did have an error. Your offensive standout, well, your offensive hero is Max Kepler, 1 for 3, but he had the big-time hit to get the Phillies the 1 run early. And then at the end of the game, as the Braves were having some problems, most specifically Hernandez trying to locate the strike zone, he ends up walking in the 2nd run. JT Realmuto, who was much maligned, gets the RBI on the walk. Maybe this is the start, as his batting average has now plummeted to 228. But perhaps this is the confidence that the best catcher in baseball needs to raise his average above 230. And maybe we can get him back in the offensive plus column. Maybe tonight lights a fuse under JT Realmuto, because we have no other options here. And either JT can hit or he can't, and we're going to suffer the consequences if he can't. But he gets works that walk to give the Phillies the extra run in the 9th inning or the 8th inning to make it 2-0. And that's really offense. That's the offensive story here for the Phillies. For the Braves, when you don't score no runs, only get 5 hits, there's not really much to talk about. Acuna did have a hit. Austin Riley had a hit. Ozuna had a hit. So the top 3 of that lineup pretty much was all the offense the Braves could muster. The Phillies would go 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They would leave 10 runners on base, ball grounded into a double play. By the way, the Phillies have now grounded into, as a team, 34 double plays through 54 games. That's a number I'm keeping an eye on, and it's getting alarmingly high. The Braves would leave 10 on base and go 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Again, we talked about the pitching already. A stellar performance by Ranger. 6 labored innings, 103 pitches, 4 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Kerkering, Strahm, and Romano comes in and gets the save, his 7th. Strider gets the loss, 0-3 now, 4.5, 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, 4 walks and 7 strikeouts. De Los Santos, Lee, Montero, and Hernandez also in a losing effort. Scoring summary, Kepler gets the scoring going in the 2nd inning when he doubled the right, scoring Alec Bohm, and then JT Realmuto in the 8th inning walks, forcing in Alec Bohm as well to make it 2-0, and that's it. 2-0 is your final score from South Philadelphia. How you feeling out there, everybody? Phillies back in the win column for at least tonight. Good win. Ranger is better than Spencer Strider. I disagree, man. Come on. Stop saying that stuff. First of all, Spencer Strider, got Tommy John surgery about a year ago, and he's already back? I mean, I don't know about that, man. That's pretty impressive. And Strider looked good tonight. He did. He's only going to look better because he's not 100%. And once he gets to be 100%, there's not too many pitchers out there that are better than Spencer Strider in the regular season. Spencer Strider in the postseason is I don't know what he is in the post. He stinks in the postseason, but in the regular season, there's not too many pitchers out there better than him. And you got to tip your cap. The guy had Tommy John surgery a year ago, and he's already back throwing. So I'm not going to go there about Ranger Suarez better than Spencer Strider. Let's Ranger focus on what Ranger has to do. And let him focus on quality starts. Look at that pitch count down a little bit. 103 pitches through 6 innings. That's not good. And that'll bother some people. That'll bother some pitching staffs come September when he's gassed out. So, let's concentrate on Ranger. Bring Otto up. I agree, Mike Varro. As I said, I don't anticipate massive time missing for Bryce Harper, but you know what? A couple 10-day stint on the IL, at least they're not making up the injury. He's got a sore elbow or shoulder, just on the precautionary side. This is an opportunity to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You sit Harper, get him some rest, get him recuperated, and you finally see over a stretch of 10 games what Otto Kemp got. What's wrong with that? You finally can kind of see. You move Bohm over the first, you put Kemp at third, let it roll, man. Let's do this thing. And if you want to get really funky, and if Stott got hurt, then you sit him and you bring up Buddy Kennedy as well. And then we start kind of rolling the Iron Pigs through. I mean, why not? Why not? Jordan Romano had a 1-2-3 inning, most definitely, and that was probably the best thing all night long, was that there was no labored 9th inning. Romano wasn't all over the place. They weren't getting hits off of him. We weren't going to go back down that road, and the Phillies coasted to a 2-0 lead or 2-0 win. It didn't shock me that Robbie didn't retaliate for Harper getting hit. Robbie has no heart or balls to stand up for his team and star. Yeah, I don't know how much the manager comes into play with that. I know in my playing days, I didn't listen to the manager at all when it came to that. It comes down to the relationship that you have with that player inside of that locker room, which the manager really doesn't kind of have a place in. So I'm not buying that. I don't think that's. I'm buying the whole. Thompson has no heart or balls. I'll give you that. But as far as not throwing at anybody or retaliating at anybody, I don't know if the manager had anything to do with that. But old time baseball, you would retaliate. Strider is a beast. He is a beast, man. And in the regular season, there's really nobody better than him. Postseason's a whole different animal. But to sit here and say that Suarez is better than Spencer Strider, come on, man. The guy comes back from Tommy John in a year, and he's pitching like this already. And he's probably about 85% back. You know what I mean? So I think we gotta pump the brakes there. I hope Dombrowski has a set and brings up Kemp and keep Bohm at first base for a few games. Harper might miss. Yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't know how you can sort of move the shell game around on that. I don't know if is there a 5-day IL. You're going to have to put Harper on some sort of injury designation in order to clear the roster spot. But why not? I mean, it's a homestand for the next 6 games, right? Why not? Retroactive it. Say he was having some shoulder pain 4 days ago. Retroactive his 10-day IL stint to 4 days ago, and so you can get him. Just sit him for the rest of the homestand, and then Otto Kemp can go back to Lehigh when the Phillies hit the road again. So why not, man? Why friggin' not? We have an opportunity. Let's see what we got in Otto Kemp. All right. Thoughts on how the Phillies use the bullpen. So actually, it's a pretty interesting question that you bring that up. This was probably how, except with so here's what I think. Obviously, Romano seems to be actually closing baseball games. Have you guys noticed that since Jose Alvarado has gone bye-bye? It has been Jordan Romano closing games for the most part. I don't know if there's any other scenario that in a save situation that anybody else has pitched. As far as the back end, in a perfect world, I like Kerkering in the 8th because I think he's got 8th, 9th inning stuff, but Kerkering hasn't proven that. He's sort of in his own head. And I don't think Strom has a place in the 8th inning. I don't like Strom in the 8th. Strom is like prototypical 7-inning guy. But if you're asking me how I like it, I mean, this is about as close as I would call a rolled bullpen. I mean, again, in a perfect world, you have Kerkering in the 8th and you have Strom in the 7th, but they're the right people. They're just little flip-flops, in my opinion. But in this situation, I mean, Rob, you got to probably give Rob Thompson a little tip of the cap as well. He understands what Kerkering is dealing with, Kerkering is going through. So you don't put him in that type of situation, I guess. And Strom has been a better pitcher overall. So you put him in that situation. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much what it would look like in a bullpen with rolls. So very good point. And I've noticed that as since Alvarado has gone down, that it has been pretty much Romano closing games. And that's a good thing. Sauer says good team win. Good team wins game. Yeah, it was a good team. It was a good team win. Yes, it was, Sauer. So Phillies 2-0 winners over the Braves, and we'll get right back at this tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel, the 6:45 at Citizen Bank Park. Here is your Fighting's final lineup. Pat, the Gobbler, has you tomorrow. Mike will get you on Thursday. And, of course, I am here tonight. So let's continue on with the show. How do I feel about the Cedric Mullins rumors? I don't want Cedric Mullins, man. I don't want. Why don't we just bring up Tom Glavine? Why don't we trade for Bo Jackson? For God's sakes, man. Get me out of there. I don't want that crap, man. If Sosa stays playing third base, who do you think would be brought up to fill the utility role? Again, I don't think that's Mike. I just kind of rambled on about 5 minutes about why. I think that Bohm should go to first base, and they should bring up Otto Kemp to play third base just to see over the next 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever how many games they can milk out of this, just to see what they got in Otto Kemp. I think he deserves that chance. I mean, for the last season and a half, the guy has been straight raking at AAA. All right, this hasn't been something that's new this year. This started last year. just like Mick Abel started last year as well. It's time. You gave Mick Abel his shot. All right, what about Otto Kemp? Again, just to see what you might got. Maybe it is nothing. Maybe it's fool's gold, is what a lot of people think it is. But that's fine. Let's find out. Bring Otto Kemp up. Let him play third base, and put Bohm on first. We keep bases loaded in the fifth. Yeah, I mean, he pitched out of some stuff, man. I'll give Ranger. I'm going to give Ranger the credit. Ranger has been amazing since that first start after he came back. I'm telling you, and I've said this, Star Wars, millions of times. Starting pitching is not my concern with this baseball team. It is not my concern. My concern has always been and always will be rested in the offense. I just don't have faith and confidence in this offense. And again, tonight, they struggled. All right. And I got it. Strider was pretty on. But they struggled. They struggled against the A's for pretty much the most part. They struggled against the Rockies. They're starting pitching wise. They were able to get on top of the Rockies and the A's through getting to the A's and Rockies bullpen. But here they come with the Braves bullpen. Not necessarily the same animal, and they continue to struggle. So with me, it's the offense. It always has been and always will be with this offense. I have no concerns with starting pitching. It's fine the way it is. I would like to see Mick Abel in some sort of role in the starting rotation. Maybe you move Walker to the bullpen and you give Abel that fifth starter position. I have no issues with that at all with their starting pitching. I think their bullpen is maybe possibly an arm that's currently in the rotation and a trade away from being okay. But to me, it's always come down to offense, and I just still don't have confidence in the way this team is constructed and the way they routinely don't come up big or come up clutch. So it's always going to be with me with offense till further notice. All right, let's get back to the show. Let's do our Broad Street bottom line. Yeah, the Broad Street bottom line for me tonight. When I do these Broad Street bottom lines, I get a little bit more philosophical than I need to. I don't look at necessarily. This thing was designed. We talk about the Broad Street bottom line of a moment of the game that we're talking about. I don't think I've ever done that. I always take this thing like a different way. Like, oh well, the offense needs to continue. Tonight, I'm going to go back with taking it a different way. It's starting pitching, man. Every night, it seems, this team comes out with a above average to good starting effort from the pitcher. I mean, very rarely do a Philly starter come out and just have a clunker. And tonight, Ranger Suarez followed suit with a very strong performance. I said at the top of the show, pitching wins championships. And I'm telling you, as long as the Phillies starters can continue to throw the way they are throwing, the Phillies will be in this conversation at the end of the season. There's just no doubt about it. And tonight, it was on display for all to see. Now, you were up against Spencer Strider, who at 85% back from Tommy John, that happened a year ago, looked pretty damn good too. So you gotta tip your cap to the Phillies starting rotation, and I've noticed that over the last, couple years, it's been a very strong group, and where they've failed in some other areas addressing some needs on this team, like in the offense, they definitely hit on a lot of the areas within inside the starting pitching. So starting pitching wins you championships, and tonight you saw why, as Ranger Suarez pitched himself a gem, labored, but a gem, and gets the win tonight for the Phillies. So there you go. There's my Broad Street bottom line. Let's go round the bases. All right, round the bases on this Tuesday night in Major League Baseball. Games that are currently ongoing. It is 5-4 Mets over the White Sox into the bottom of the eighth inning. Game that the Phillies fans should keep an eye on. It is 1-0 Red Sox over the Brewers heading to the bottom of the eighth. It is 6-2 Reds over the Royals heading into the bottom of the eighth. In the top of the seventh, the Rockies and Cubs are tied up at 2. In the bottom of the sixth, 0-0 Blue Jays and Rangers. It is 9-1 Astros over the Athletics in the bottom of the fifth. Just underway out in Anaheim, it is 0-0 Angels and Yankees. just underway in San Diego. It was 1-0 Marlins over the Padres. Just underway in Arizona, it is 0-0 Pirates Diamondbacks. And just underway in Seattle, it is Washington 0, Mariners 0. Games that have gone final: 9-5 Dodgers over the Guardians. It was the Cardinals over the just what has happened to this team. The Baltimore Orioles 7-4, the losers today. Tigers 3-1 winners over the Giants, and it was 4-2 Minnesota over Tampa. And of course, our game 2-0 Phillies with the win. Tomorrow, the Phillies will get right back at this at 6:45. Zach Wheeler. We go from a dominant starting pitching effort from Ranger Suarez to the bottom line definition of dominance when it comes to starting pitching. Zach Wheeler gets the nod for the Phillies. He'll be opposed by A.J. Smith Shawver for the Braves. A 6:45 start time down there at Citizen Bank Park. And there you go, man. We're all caught up on all the greatness that is happening on the Phillies game. My Broad Street bottom line is a good win. Yeah, that's deep, Mike. That is a deep bottom line. I may have to pause to kind of process that, but that's deep. Adam, how are you? I'm doing well. And let's remind everybody as well, tomorrow night, again, I already talked about it. Let's remind you again, this is the Fighters final lineup for the rest of the week. And also, we have other shows to talk about on this network. Sunday mornings at 9, it is the PM and the AM program. Thursdays at 9 p.m., it is the Attacking Third, your one-stop shop in Union Soccer. Fridays at 10:30, it's the Wraparound with Pat Bernard. And every Sunday through Thursday, when I don't have post-game duty, it is the Final Word with Matty B. So we'll be back tomorrow for the Final Word, and a big night on the Final Word. Spread the word, folks. On the Final Word with Matty B, tomorrow night, the phone lines will be open. That is right. I will be dropping in the StreamYard link into the general chat tomorrow, so that if you have a bone to pick with me, you want to get something off your chest, there you go. You can chime in, call in, video in, interface in, microphone in, however you want to do it. And I will take your call live on the air. So tomorrow night on the Final Word, the phone lines will be open. God help me. And this could be something, start of something, or this could be the end of something very quickly. But tomorrow night on the Final Word, it should be fun. Either way. I sent that Reggie White card and it didn't get back. Yeah, it takes a minute. How much? Maybe I don't. Drop me in my Facebook, Adam. Tell me how much you had to pay for it. Just don't tell me in general chat. Just drop it into my Facebook Messenger. I'm interested. And when you get it back, I am definitely interested to know what they graded it. Send me a picture of it, the whole 9, and I will actually see what I can do to kind of, if you're interested in selling it, I will see what I can do to get you in touch with a broker that's good. eBay, there's a lot of selling costs. I mean, there's a lot of selling costs regardless if you go that route, but there's some auction sites out there, some memorabilia sites that will actually really, really build up your, just hit me up after this and let me know when you get the card back and we'll go from there. So he's got a Reggie White rookie card, folks, back in the wax pack era. What's interesting about the Reggie White rookie he has, Reggie's wearing 91 in the card. Not many Eagle fans remember those days when Reggie White rocked number 91. I do, and he's got one of those cards. It is not what you call a rare card because it's a wax pack card. There's a lot of cards that were made in that era, so that's a lot of cards in general population. And when you're dealing with those types of cards, sending it off to get professionally graded is your best bet if you want to sell it for money. So Joe Hale says tomorrow will be fun. Yes. So as I said, we're going to do this like WIP style. I will drop the StreamYard link into the general chat. You will then jump on, make sure you put a name in the header so I know who you are. And you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to be, but you have to be on microphone. So if you don't want me to see your face, that's fine. But I got to be able to hear you and talk to you. So we're going to do this. And if it works out well, maybe we'll make it a permanent part of the show going forward. But I have a feeling, I'm going to regret this. But you know what? It's time to turn up the heat on myself. So tomorrow night, the Final Word, taking phone calls for the first time ever. So make sure you're there for that. Make sure you're tuned in just for the entertainment value of what that's going to look like. But that's going to wrap me up tonight on the Fighting's Final. Phillies 2-0 winners. I am now 16 What am I, 16-5 as your host of the Fighting's Final? What is that? No, I am 16-6. 16-6 as your Fighting's Final host. As I've said, and I know people are starting to accuse me of stacking games here. I am. I'm not going to lie. I am stacking games because there's a reason for it. Starting next week, my Fighting's Final participation is going to drop significantly because I got my summer of fun begins on Saturday, and I'm going to be real busy. So I'll be in and out, but there's not much time for me to do, like, I can't do multiple games in a series, all that kind of thing. So yes, I stacked the games early, but trust me, when this is all said and done with, it's going to look pretty damn even. But 16-6 now as your host. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to see what everybody else does. Tomorrow, have a good night. You too, Adam. Everyone else have a good night too. And before I go, everybody, just one more person I have to hear from. I have to hear from him every time the Phillies win. And Harry the K, what you got, man? Have a good night, everybody.